Hi, you guys. Let me get my video on. I am sorry I am late. I have been dealing with a negative Nelly all morning. And I had to take a big deep breath. I just want to say I appreciate positive people that are very much kind. I had a lot of complaints in my inbox today. I'm not complaining to you guys. So I'm just saying I needed to set him straight and be like, you need to be positive, buddy. And I lost track of time. So let's get started. How is everybody? Thank you for coming. You can't hear me. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me? My video on. I am sorry I am
Hold on.
Streaming. I'm getting my feedback. It's streaming to YouTube somewhere. It's a morning, you guys. I feel like it's a Monday. Hold on. I had to. Just a second. Take a big deep breath. I just want to say, okay. Okay, you guys can hear me. Hi. Is it Friday yet? Maria says, I need it to be Friday. I feel like it's a Monday. Okay, so you guys can hear me. If you guys can't hear me, that's a user error. It sounds like everyone can hear me. So I would check out your phone. Make sure it's not connected to earphones. That's what happens to me. Okay. How is everyone today? We got 58 people here. I didn't come to complain. Now I feel like I'm complaining about complainers. But I'm happy to be here and happy you guys are here. Feeling great. I love it. Okay, so you guys, how many people are new here? How many people are new and did not watch the Elephant Challenge last week? Let's get that out of the way. It's okay if you didn't. Put a 1 in the, there's no one saying anything. So I'm going to assume that you guys watched the Elephant Challenge. You know where we're going. We missed the 3rd day. That's okay. You get the gist. Day 2 here. Hi, Allison. Welcome. Okay. So let's get some housekeeping out of the way first. I think I'm going to move our Wednesday meetings back to noon Pacific, which is 3 p.m. Eastern, because I get my kids out the door and then I come home and I haven't showered yet. And I just need a little bit of time to prepare. But so just so you know, I think I'll put it in the chat. I watched all 3, but I missed the actual wholesale explanation. It was kind of, Daniel, it was a lot. So what a wholesale is you find your market. We talked about that a lot. You get a deal under contract, you find motivated sellers. And then basically what wholesaling is you negotiate the term. What you guys do is you guys find you guys are baby elephants. You guys find people that are open to terms, creative terms. You don't have to pitch terms. Motivated, open to terms, they're open to a low cash offer. And then you JV with me and I help you get it under contract. I do the negotiations. I get a TC, which is a transaction coordinator. They cost about $2,500. They transaction coordinate the whole thing. So the whole thing's legit and legal. And then I get under contract, and wholesaling is assigning that contract to another person. So like, let's say, Daniel, you're just at the top right. So I'm going to use you for an example. Hi, thank you for coming back. Let's say he's like, I got a contract under contract for $10. I negotiated it. But I don't really want this property. I'm going to come over to Dustin and be like, Dustin, I'll sell you this property for $20. It's got sub 2 terms. And Dustin's, heck yeah. And then Daniel makes $100 or $10, and Dustin has a creative or super cheap property that he got under contract. So that's like the high level version of wholesale. I hope that answers your question. Daniel, how are you? I'm unmuting you.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. How was your road trip? It looked adventurous.
Oh, it was adventurous. It was like beautiful. If you guys saw it on my Instagram, it was beautiful. I get RVs creatively and then I rent them out. And so we got this van, which was my dream, and it's been rented out ever since. And so it's been like this 2-year-long dream that I finally manifested. I got it. I went out into the mountains and like the 3-year-old was throwing a fit and the dogs were barking. You know, it was just like, but it was so good. It was so amazing. But anyways.
It looked awesome. Everybody should follow Carly on her Instagram. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
entertaining.
Thank you. You're so nice.
So my question is, I guess what I was asking, like I get the concept of like wholesaling and stuff.
Yeah.
With like this more of the step by step, like you mentioned cash offer. And I was under the impression for whatever reason that we're trying to find sub 2 situations.
Yeah. So you are right. You are not wrong at that. So wholesaling is just like getting it under contract some
Right.
sort of way. Likely it's going to be a sub 2 situation based on like the lists we're giving you and like how we're helping you guys find motivation. So pre-foreclosure,
Right.
a low cash offer. There's just many ways you can do a wholesale deal. There's a low cash offer. So it's like way under market, and then you sell it to a flipper and they flip it and then they make money on it. And then there's creative. So likely what these, like we're working on pre-foreclosures now. So, a low cash offer is not going to help pre-foreclosure people. So what we do is we say cash terms last. So we're like, all right, your house is worth 300K. I'll give you 200. No, that's not going to work for me. And then you can be like, okay, so I can give you your price, but you have to give me terms. So you kind of use cash as like a tool to be like, yeah, I'll give you cash. So you're not being like, I'm not giving you cash, you know, like you're like, yeah, I will, but not what you think you want cash for. So likely everything that you guys are going to be going for, like pre-foreclosures or high days on market, low equity, they're going to be a sub 2 situation. So I'm just saying low cash because people like you brought a deal that was off market. It was just like, kind of like, it wasn't off. It wasn't really anything that we've taught you. And then, which is fine. And it's good. But in some cases, I want to be like, if it isn't those things, like if it's not on market and it's not pre-foreclosure and blah, 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 and all they want is cash, we can do that for you. Likely, you guys are only going to do creative.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never answered me on that deal anyway.
I did. I replied to you. Did you not get an email?
The multifamily in small town Kansas.
Oh, no. Sorry. That was you all. Did you send me the one in Idaho too? Or was it?
No,
You're a different.
it was like a multifamily
Oh,
with
sorry.
commercial in the bottom.
Yes, I know
Campus.
exactly. And I sent that to Jennifer. So if you've been here for a while, you may have seen Jen on here, and she's working on the multifamily side. So I sent that to her, and I did not know that she has not gotten back to you. So she is, I'm doing the creative and the wholesale and the single family and anything like that.
I actually sent it to her too.
And she didn't get back to you? No one got back to you?
She did initially, and we went back and forth a couple of times, and then she ghosted me.
Oh, Daniel, I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
Okay, so that's not our intention. And I'll follow up with that. So thank you for following up. If there's anything like that, you guys, no one's intentionally ghosting you. I know Mario came on here last time and was like, what's going on with my deal? So I am in the process of building out a team, and it's not for the faint of heart. So I'm still training the team. Like Mario, for example, that deal was being worked, but nobody was communicating with him that it was being worked. And so that's where I fell short. And I'm like, I needed to go to my team member and be like, we're all working on this, but we need to communicate this with the baby elephant.
Yeah, 100%.
So bear with us because we're still building out a team. And if things happen like this, we're not ghosting you on purpose. And please follow up with us, and we're working to be better.
Sure.
So
hey, can we bring commercial properties to this Elephant Challenge?
You can.
Because that's kind of my wheelhouse is commercial.
I know. I think I confused you with another guy because you are commercial and you're in Kansas or Midwest, and I think I confused you with the guy that brought the Idaho deal. So I'm sorry. That, yes, you can be. That is not my wheelhouse, but I can get somebody whose wheelhouse it is.
Okay.
As long as it's creative, yes. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to get you guys cash buyers on that, but the beauty of being in sub two is if you don't know something, someone does. I know a guy named Pace that has a Q&A every week, and I can ask him
Yeah.
and he can like hold our hands or
I'm
give me,
actually
yeah.
emailing him and Ben on a car wash that we have here.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's really yeah. So you're in touch with him. You're in touch with the right people.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like we're just like he just jumped on the emails, so I don't know if I have permission to just start pelting him with potential creative deals or not. We haven't got to that point of having a discussion, so I don't want
Yeah.
to just start blowing up his email.
Yeah. And you can, or you can come to me or someone else, like, because we all have our sub two student, we all have access to him, but it sounds like you do too. And it doesn't, I mean, it wouldn't blow up his email like with like lists every week. And I know you won't, but use it.
Okay, cool, we'll do. And
Um,
I just wanted to reiterate the
yeah.
last time I was on one of your Zooms, we talked about how important creative finance is going to be and like how it's the most important. Like I thought this is going to be the most important thing in real estate in the next 3 to 5 years. And like, this is going to be even for real estate professionals, it's going to be the most important skill set to have. We just had a sales meeting for a commercial firm yesterday. And the last 30 minutes was all about, hey, is anybody, getting up to speed on seller finance? I'm getting asked every day, seller finance, seller finance. I had 2 calls this morning. They were both about seller finance and whether the potential sellers would consider seller finance. This lending is at 8.5 to 9%.
Yeah.
And
You're absolutely right.
so it's extremely tough. People are not lending anymore. So I don't know how to like encourage people like in this elephant challenge more, but I mean, I'm a real estate professional. These guys, this is all they do is creative real estate. And most people don't know it, they don't understand it. But if you want to get into real estate, you need to understand this stuff. And I'm trying to tell people here, and everybody kind of looks at me weird, but
I
they're
know.
not looking at me so weird anymore.
And so for those of you guys that didn't see our conversation, he is in the commercial space. So what is commercial? That's like industrial buildings or like apartment buildings over, I don't know, what is commercial? Probably like 5 or something, probably, but they're big buildings. They're like the big box stores. They're like when Starbucks wants a place to open, they go to a commercial broker. So he does like the big stuff. It's not residential. And so this is so huge for you as somebody in that space that is open to it. You are like a unicorn of a unicorn. So we always say that residential agents are unicorn agents because they don't get it. And they've come off of 2 years of just amazingness. Has it been amazing for commercial? I don't know anything about, I haven't been paying attention to commercial.
Yeah, it has. It's been extremely strong because when the money is cheap, everybody wants to buy stuff.
Yes. And so
trying to tell sellers or buyers, like if you're an investor, you want to be an investor, you need to buy when the rates are high, sell when the rates are low.
yes.
But they're like, money's so expensive. And I'm like, yeah, but this is when you get deals. It's because people can't sell stuff because money is so expensive. So you have to get creative. And so that's starting
You're
out
absolutely right. And just so you guys know, any millionaire that you guys know, they love times like this because their money is made when they expand business when everyone else is contracting. So when interest rates are high, when people are getting foreclosed on, when everyone's like, oh my God, inflation's through the roof and it's $6 a gallon for gas. This is when this is where millionaires are made. First of all, the number one way millionaires are made is through what industry? Real estate. Yep. And 2, they make their money when they expand, when everyone else contracts. So for you to be in the commercial space and you're open to it and you get it and you're educating people, Daniel is going to blast off right now. Like it's only a matter of time. What?
So I'm down with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're already doing great, but it's just like you are because you're open-minded.
Yeah.
So
I spent the last 2 days contacting every broker, like in my firm and the surrounding firms in my city, just like you have something creative, multifamily cash flow producing, send it to me. I'm
I
taking
love
out some
it.
residential agents later this week for lunch. Tell them the same thing. You
You're
got VA,
doing,
because we got a big Air Force base here. People are moving in and out all the time using those VA loans, and then they're upside down when they have to ship out. So it's like, bring them to me.
perfect.
I know people that know people.
I know people, I know a guy. I know a
Yeah.
guy, a lot of guys and gals that will buy. Yeah. So you're so smart to do this. Where are you again? Are you in Kansas City?
Yeah,
Where?
Wichita.
Wichita, Kansas. That's right.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good, the Midwest is, I used to invest in Kansas City, Missouri. And it's a great place to invest.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Wichita, but I loved Kansas City
It's
because
the largest city in Kansas,
Yeah.
outside of Kansas City, because Kansas City split between Kansas and Missouri.
yeah,
But so Wichita is the largest city, and actually one of our suburbs is the largest growing city in the state of Kansas, and it's got like the most desirable school district. So trying to
nice.
work that area, it's kind of weird that I'm doing so much residential stuff now, even though I'm in commercial. I'm not technically allowed to do residential.
Are you
So
not?
no, so it all has to be like private, or I have to, refer it
Yeah.
out or whatever. So
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. Well, you're so smart. So you
I
guys just,
mean, it's not through the state, it's through my company that says,
yes.
"You're a commercial agent, be a commercial agent."
Yeah. There's weird laws. That's the same thing with residential. They have to disclose and they can't wholesale. There's rules.
Yeah. Most of real estate school is how not to get sued. They don't really teach you how to do real estate.
They don't. They teach you guys. So when we were doing agent outreach, you guys, they're taught how to fill out paperwork and how not to get sued. They don't know anything about like how to invest. They like, so that's why we call it agents that understand it, unicorns.
I guess I should mention, like, I know Dustin heard this last time I was on, but when you guys call agents, we have no idea what the heck you're talking about when you're like sub two, creative financing stuff. So the agent's confused. Just, don't get thrown off kilter. Just kind of work with them, kind of help explain why it's a benefit, explain the benefits of why it's going to help their seller and how they're still going to get paid. It's 100% legal. You can use their contracts if that's what they have to do. Because the agents are given a form contract. We have a form contract. We fill in the blanks. That's all we're allowed to do. You cannot change any part of the contract. It's illegal. So if something doesn't come on this form, they get freaked out. They think it's a scam. We get hit up with scams all day long, every single day. So just know that when you talk to these agents, we don't understand what you're talking about, most likely. And it sounds like there's a way that they're going to get cut out of the deal. And that's all they really care about.
Yes.
So
That's
just know
so
that going in.
true. And that's what when you guys are calling agents, like I know we're kind of moving to the pre-foreclosure phase, but it doesn't hurt to still keep doing agent outreach because it's just another avenue that you guys can go down. And that's why I don't like to also say I'm an investor. I feel like that's like put the guard up because they're like, You're going to lowball me, you're going to cut me out. And then when you start talking about sub two and creative finance, people say no to what they don't understand. So we have to really and I feel like this is a derogatory way, and I do not mean this derogatory at all, but like dumb it down enough where they like, okay, I get it. Like, so I always use seller finance because most realtors, they get seller finance. It's just like, and if they don't, then may God bless their soul. They don't if they're a realtor.
I've started using the phrase like, hey, if I can get your seller their price and get your commission covered, are they open to having a conversation about creative finance? That's what I'm usually going with, because even wholesalers freak out. They're like, no. It's like, no, you'll get paid the same. Like, oh, wait a minute, maybe.
Yes. And there's so many things like I've been talking to realtors, and what their ears are listening out for is wholesalers. Like, yes, we're wholesaling this. So, but there's also people that do it wrong. They get things under contract. There's wholesalers that get things wrong. They do contracts, they tie up deals, they don't follow through, they give real estate people bad names. So when we say this, we are going to wholesale these, and we're straightforward. I don't like to use the word wholesale because it's another 4-letter word that puts the thing up. You say, I might buy this, but if I don't, I'm going to introduce you to my partner that's going to buy this. So we want them to know each other and make the connection, because especially with creative deals, you guys, it's like getting married. it really is like getting married because they're going to get the title sent to them when it gets paid off. And you are keeping you're going into and paying their bills. So you need to have like trust and mutual respect and open communication. So, especially with creative deals. So we don't want to be like, yeah, I'm going to wholesale this. Be like, I might buy it, which is the truth. You might, or you're going to find I know my partner wants to buy something like this, and I'll make sure we introduce you guys and you guys all feel comfortable with each other. So wholesaling is scary too. You're dropping those knowledge bombs on us, Daniel. Thank you.
Trying to be helpful if I can. Add value.
Yes, I appreciate you.
All right. I'm going to go look at your Instagram now and see what you did today.
Okay. Dustin, what's up?
Hey.
How are you?
Good. I also want to say thank you to Daniel. It was because of him that I started really being able to have better conversations with the realtors and assuring them they were going to get paid. And yeah, so much love to Daniel. He's the man for sure.
I love that. Can I just say something real quick and then I'll let you talk? So thank you guys for helping each other and working with each other. So Daniel helped Dustin with his conversations. And then Florent, I think I am always screwing up his name, reached out to Dustin because he's in Sweden or somewhere that's not in the United States. Yeah. And Dustin helped him get conversations going in confidence. And this just makes my heart so happy. Thank you for helping each other. Thank you for being kind to each other. I love you guys. Just makes my heart so happy. So thank you. Keep doing that.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's your turn. I'll stop interrupting.
For the record, you said his name better than I did. It's Florent, not the long O with the W. Like I said, Flo. He's like, no, Carly said it better. Florent. Just short. So you actually had that one.
Good.
I just had a few quick questions. I'm ready to start hammering this foreclosure list, but 3 questions.
Okay.
Is Google Voice okay to use, or is there a better free option that you would recommend?
I use that.
Google Voice, perfect. Okay, and then the second one is, I know you mentioned never split the difference, and I have that right beneath my Bible. It's amazing. But is there any other negotiation recommendations or real estate, like kind of overall 50,000 foot view books that you would recommend? Or Daniel, if you want to drop in the side
or
chat.
Anybody else in here, drop them in there. Okay.
Yeah.
This is my hold on. Let me go through my Audible and I'll share it on the next, or I'll DM you or I'll put it in the group so everybody can see it. But never split the difference. I listen to that once a quarter because you forget the things and you're like, oh yeah, mirroring. Oh yeah, this. Never split the difference is freaking phenomenal.
Yes.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Okay. Do you have anything, Daniel? I feel like you were going to say something. Oh.
I have a new one that I want to get. It's called Who Not How.
That's such a good book. Who Not How. The TLDR version of that is not you shouldn't be doing everything. Who can you hire to do it to free up your time? That's huge.
Yeah.
After this, I'm going to go screenshot my Audible, you guys. And if you guys have anything, books like this are my love language. So if you have good books like this that help in business and like personal development and negotiations, let me know.
Or like a real estate law, or like the history of real estate combined, kind of like the flow of paperwork, the 50,000 shot view. That way we just have a better understanding of the mechanics. That would be awesome.
So what I really enjoyed was Brandon Turner guide. What is it? This helped me. This was the best guide to real estate investing, I think. Let me see. It's from Bigger Pockets. It's Brandon Turner. I got here. Let me just pull up my Audible because I have it. That is the best one. It gives like his leases that he uses and like, this is why you should do this. That's if you're going to be a landlord.
Anything, just all of it. Yeah. I'm hungry for everything just to have an idea, but.
Have you read, this is like the book that everybody says gets their mind set into real estate investing is Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes, absolutely.
So that just gets you into the mindset to get it. So if you guys need the mindset of it, that's a really good one.
Think and Grow Rich. is
Think
a
and
good
Grow
quick one.
Rich.
Yep, I've
Oh my
read those.
God, that's
The
another
basic
one I read
stuff.
all the time.
Yeah, that one's good as well.
That's a really, really good one. And then I'll look up my Audible while you're asking your third question, and I'll share my screen and show you guys. my
And then
Audible.
third question, I know it's probably different for you, Carly, because you have like 25 different things happening, but for us new people,
Yeah.
who have just like a simple LLC set up, what would you recommend for taxes and bookkeeping? Because we're kind of getting into Q4, and that's going to be coming up soon.
You guys, I love that your head is right there, right? Like at this point of the game. My head was not, and it's a pain in the ass when you start it and because taxes are not fun to me, or it's just like it's like, I'd rather go to the dentist, and I'm afraid of the dentist. I have a phobia of the dentist. So okay. So with corporate, this is what I used, and Pace recommends. If you go to startwithprime.com, it's you come in under Pace. And so it's good to come in under Pace on this. So that's with PCS. They do my corporate structure, it's going to be different for everybody, but especially like Dustin, it's smart for you to get, because I can tell you're going far with this, and this isn't a fad. So if you guys want to get started, so what they did for me, everybody's different. They do corporate structure, so they get your LLCs, your holding companies, trusts, if you want it. They open your EINs, all that stuff. And they also do your taxes. So they do my taxes too.
So you go through them?
I do.
Okay.
I'll be honest, last year, you're going to hear a lot of negative reviews about their tax service.
It was really bad on the reviews.
And it was very bad. It was very bad. They got a new service. I have been in contact with them. And I haven't done my taxes yet this year. That's what I need to do this week, because I put because I hate doing taxes. So I don't know. It was bad last year. There's a new one. I don't know if it's good. I'll let you know once I do my taxes.
Well, I need to know before then. I got to do mine.
I know.
Too.
Well, I'll do them this week, because they were due in August with my extension. So, I think they might be better this year. They've promised. I have not heard rumblings about taxes from people this year.
Okay.
So you are going to hear bad, negative things from last year, and they're true. I'll just be completely transparent.
Can I rumble? Can I rumble?
What's that?
Can I rumble?
Rumble? What do you mean rumble?
With PCS. So I had a hard time with the taxes that I paid for last year.
Yeah.
And then this year, they didn't get it back to me until I told them that I was a sub-2 student. And then I used to be with Homeschool by Tarek, and both of them promote right PCS in the taxes. And I said, but you guys are awful. Like, I left probably like 7 messages, literally. And I said, and it wasn't until I mentioned those 2 names that I had somebody call me back.
Yeah.
So I think they're great for the LLC.
Okay.
But,
so I don't want to go into like PCS sucks situation, because that's not going to solve anything. I'm sorry that happened.
If we have somebody else.
Yeah. So I just want you guys to know there has been bad stuff. I don't know how it is now, but take it all with the tax service with a grain of salt. I'm very happy with my corporate structure.
Yes, for sure.
It's hard to find taxes, a good accountant. It's very hard to find one as a real estate investor that really gets it.
Okay. And then for like bookkeeping, I know that the PCS offered with their tax plan bookkeeping, but would you use QuickBooks? Would that be something that
I'm using QuickBooks now, and it's based on how you are. I don't do it. I hate taxes. It's not fun. Like, I just talked to my husband and I'm like, I'm getting a bookkeeper. Like, our taxes are a mess because they're not being kept like they should.
Yeah.
So I would it depends on if you like it, and if you think you're going to keep up with it, QuickBooks is fine.
And you pay every quarter, you pay like what you estimate, and then you actually only file once a year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That was all I had for questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Carly and Daniel. You're the man. I appreciate
I
it.
love it.
But yeah, that's all I had. I'm ready to start hammering out that list. I just needed to get the number. I know you're not supposed to use your home phone when you call the foreclosures. So I wanted to make sure I was set up with all that and ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna get after these 100 calls and make sure that we're ready next time Pace pops on.
Yay! And I think it's going to be soon. He says it is. So I'm
Okay.
excited to see what it is. Like, I never know, like you guys. He told me it was going to be agent outreach for the last 2 months and it became pre-foreclosures. So
Yeah.
let's roll with it, which is good.
Roll with the punches.
Rolling with the punches.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Dustin.
Yes, thank you.
Mo, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. So I got a question. You mentioned earlier about getting a TC, which is something that Pace has obviously hammered at us, and I completely understand it. But when you mentioned like the price, $2,500, as a Gator, how can that be cost effective, or is that usually like a one-time fee to be your coordinator, or how does that work? For example, in a Gator deal, you might not even make that much.
So this is a Gator question. I think you're asking based off of my newbie Zoom from the Gator. Is that what you're talking? So let's keep this let's keep Gator to Gator. For those of you that don't know, I'm the Gator community manager for Pace, which is another mentorship on lending. What I do is I don't think they're going to be 2,500. That's like the max. They're probably like 1,500. But if people are borrowing money from me, which I am a lender, I'm like, yeah, you're going to pay for my TC. I'm not paying for it. You want my money? They're called origination fees. And so it is a red flag when lenders are like, I want this up front.
Okay.
But also at the same time, if you're doing EMD, which is like wholesalers and deals fall through, you want to have yourself covered. So I'm like, listen, you can pay my TC, you can pay them directly. You don't have to pay me. And then if it's a double close or it's something I know that's going to go through, we can just have title pay out the TC at the end, but it comes from the borrower.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Couple other things. Somebody mentioned the Google Voice.
Yes.
I've never used it. Don't even know what it is. So, anybody that can help me out or even give me any tips on that would be great.
Yeah, the Google Voice, if anybody wants to reach out to Mo and show him how to use Google Voice, if you go to Google Voice, you just get a phone number and you just make a call. You pick your city and your state and you get a phone number and you make a call through that.
Oh, okay.
Through the computer, just like Zoom.
Sounds great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Carmina says it's usually tied to your Gmail account. She is absolutely right.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll just Google that then.
Google it. Google it on the Googler.
I'll Google Voice, see how to use it then.
And maybe we can do, is that something you guys might want to go over next week of like how to get a Google Voice number? Let me know.
Yeah, that would help.
Dan says there's a lot of YouTubes on it. Can you have more than one number? I think you can. I think it just it might cost money. I don't know. I know at least one is free.
Okay.
So,
and lastly, to my own fault, because I've been overwhelming myself because I'm doing both Gator and Sub 2.
Oh my gosh, bless you.
Yeah, I just joined Sub 2 last week because that's really what I wanted to begin with.
Welcome.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
So I kind of lost my train of thought, but just I've been overwhelming myself, so I haven't really been on this Elephant Challenge since that first call, and I don't know if like the list has been given out so that I can start making calls because I want to jump on it now, but obviously, like I said, to my own fault because I've been overwhelming myself.
I know. Okay, so we have one list. We have a list from Austin that I gave in the last thing, and I'll go put it in here too. I'll put it in here for you guys. But here's the deal. So there was all these other ones. And the skip tracing thing broke and was not, and I had to like reach out to support at Batch Leads. And they're like, we'll figure it out. I'm logging in right now to see if they're like, we're going to let you know where we are before September 20th, which is today. Well, I don't think I can log in. Okay. He might have changed his password. Oh, I have to accept the terms. There we go. Okay. Let's see if it's skip traced yet. So I'll show you guys what it looks like back here. So this is Pace's batch. See how it says Austin, Texas pre-foreclosures? There's 188 records and the status is completed. Our Orlando, Houston, Nashville, and Atlanta, they're all processing and they were supposed to get it fixed. So we can't pull these up. I can only give you, the Austin ones, which let me find it, you guys, and I'll give it to you. Might be under my work. Okay, I won't, I'll get it for you guys. Any other questions you guys have?
That was it for me. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And welcome to Gator and Sub 2.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing. It really is amazing. It's just drinking from 5 fire hoses at once.
I really have
Really?
that. Yeah. That's literally how I've been feeling. So that's why I gotta kind of take a step back and
Yep.
just focus on one thing. And that's why I wanted to do the whole list and start calling.
Yes. Focus stands for focus on one course until successful.
Yeah.
You will be more successful that way. But let me know. I'm Sub 2 and Gator. I can help. Like if you have any questions, I'm happy to help you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. So Jesse, you said I'm canceling Deal Machine and getting batch leads today. Don't feel like you have to buy batch leads. I love that you're doing it, but I just want you guys to know, don't feel like you have to do this. I feel like Jesse, you're a go-getter from what I've seen. So I think you're going to be using it for other things, but other people that are just learning on this, like, don't just get batch leads to get it. You use people like our lists, because it gets expensive. It gets so expensive, you guys. Okay, here's the Austin. And it, like, before you know it, Pace says this on the live or on the Elephant Challenge. He's like, you wake up to like $1,000 bill and you're like, holy shit, how did that happen? Because it gets expensive. Okay, so there's our Austin list. Let's see. Okay, Tony, what's your question?
Hello, Carly. Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello, everyone. Just real quick, I wanted to know, is it possible to wholesale a sub 2
Yes,
deal?
we're going to do a lot of. Yes.
Okay.
That's when I was saying you can wholesale it, but you have to build a good relationship. You as the don't use the word wholesale. That's going to not go well. You'll say, I buy it, or I'll introduce you to my partner, Liz, or a friend of mine. So you're going to wholesale it out. You're going to find a buyer. You're going to vet this buyer, and you're going to introduce the buyer and the seller, because you're entering into pretty much like a marriage. You need to have a good relationship. You have to have mutual respect and trust. You have to be in constant communication. Like, here's an example. I got a sub 2 RV, and then I registered. What happened? They canceled their insurance and I had to put my own insurance on it. But then the bank who holds the title sent a letter to the owner, who's the bank statement, the loan is still in their name, saying, hey, you need to update us on your insurance, lady. So she goes, hey, can you go send them the insurance? So it's just stuff like that. Or she's been really nervous. She's like, can you send me a screenshot of you that it's been paid this month? Because it's just like the first couple of months. So you want to have a lot of constant communication with them.
Okay. Yeah, I've been calling agents all morning. I actually submitted a lead this morning, and Rick just texted me saying that he's going to be following up with it.
Rick is awesome.
But
Okay.
when I get the question, which I got several times this morning, are you a wholesaler? I just say, no, I'm a real estate investor who happens to have wholesaling in his tool belt. And they say, what do you mean? I say, are you a golfer? How many clubs does a golfer have in their bag? It would be foolish to use just one golf club to play around the golf. So why would I only wholesale? I wholesale, I buy and hold, I flip and fix, and then I move on to my next question, and they never say anything else about it.
Yes. And so that's a really good way to answer that. I love how you overcame that objection. That's really, really good. A lot. So the like wholesaler is a dirty word to agents. And so is investor can be too. It's triggering. They're like, you're going to lowball me. You're going to go around me. You're a wholesaler. So that's a really good way. And what I like to say is I'm like, I buy and sell real estate. This is what I do. So I might buy it, or I have a partner in mind that might buy it, and I'm happy to introduce you guys. So that way you're not like lying. You're not. But, and I always say, don't lie. Don't like try to pull wool over everybody's eyes. It's going to ruin your reputation. It's going to ruin your credibility, especially with subdue. There has to be so much like trust in there, and it corrodes trust. So I love that you say different clubs in my golf bag. I love that. You're like, listen, pal, I'm a golfer because I like to drive the golf cart and drink beer and carry the, like I don't actually golf when I go golfing, but it's the exact same thing. So I
And-
love that answer.
And if I can ask one other question,
Yeah.
I had another agent that I spoke with, and I originally, we talked about one submitting an offer, and which I'm gonna try to wholesale, but we also talked about seller financing because there's the house is paid for, and she said that
Good.
they would be open to that, but the down payment would be more than the criteria that on the list that you provided. It'd be more than 10%, with everything included. So I submitted an offer letter this morning for the wholesale price, and she says if he doesn't accept it, then I'll reach back out to you and we can talk about seller financing. Is the seller financing side, is that something I can submit to you guys since it's not a
Absolutely.
sub-2? It'll just be a straight.
Yes.
Okay.
So sub-2 is just, so creative finance, there's like 27 different ways. Sub-2 is just one, seller finance is another one. So anything creative, we can help with anything.
Okay.
It's not just sub-2. Sub-2s are most desirable. I mean, so are seller finances. As long as you're not going to the bank and paying an 8% rate and it's creative and it's legal, we can
Yeah.
help. Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
And
And
sounds like you're in touch with Rick. He's amazing.
he just texted me. I haven't had a chance to speak with him yet. We just been texting.
Good.
But
Okay.
looking forward to the conversation.
Oh, good. Rick's
And
off.
like Mo, I just joined sub-2 also. So
Welcome.
looking forward to it. Thank you.
Sub-2 is amazing. It really blasted off my real estate career. If you work it, you get what you put into it for sure. So
It's
awesome.
a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but you put in a lot, but the reward is a lot too. So it's worth it. Welcome to sub-2, Tony.
Thank you.
Yep. Karima, hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So I had a couple questions. So when I submit offers, and I'm mainly interested, similar to some others, in more commercial, multifamily, RV parks, that type of thing.
Yes.
That's kind of my wheelhouse.
I love it.
You mentioned before that maybe people would get emails.
And you're not getting emails.
No.
That's what Daniel was saying too. So I'll follow. So Jen is like, she's the mastermind behind commercial RV parks. So I'll follow up with her. And I told you, I lied, and not on purpose. I told you I was going to add you to a Slack, which I'll do right now as we speak. Will you DM me one more time your email address? And I'm going to start a Slack. It's the best way to get a hold of, let's see. Slack settings, manage members. All right. I'm going to make you one right now. I'll put you in there and I'll get the RV park one going because that's a great one. So Karima, tell us about while I'm just doing this because I can't talk and type at the same time.
Yeah,
Tell them about your RV park that you found, that you submitted.
Yeah, sure.
I'm really excited about it.
So one of the things so basically I'm looking for RV parks, mobile home parks, multifamily properties that the sellers would be open to something creative, most likely owner financing type situations, where there's like a pain point. In this particular one that I found, the owners have some health issues going on and they are trying to liquidate all their assets at the moment. It's challenging and hopefully we can make it work. My concern is that the real estate agent keeps reaching out to me and I want to not provide him inaccurate information. And I don't then is necessarily sending. And so that's where it would be helpful to kind of see what information she sent him.
Yes. And I didn't get it. Will you DM me privately on the messaging, your email, and then I'll add you to the RV park. So it's an RV park in Coos Bay, Oregon, which is right on the coast. So it's really cool. And then I'll get that started. I'll create the Slack channel right now.
Okay, I just sent you my email. Let me know if you see it in the DM.
Okay. Create. Okay, so I'm adding you to this right now. There it is. Okay, so here we go. Done. Let's add. If I don't do this now, you guys, I will not do it like I didn't last time because time gets away from me. So hang tight. Okay. Send. Okay, you have an invite.
Okay, so will that go to my email then?
It'll go to the email that you sent me from Slack. It's like Crown Acquisitions offered you to come into their Slack. And then you'll see on the channels, it says RV Park Coos Bay, Oregon.
Okay.
And we'll tag Jennifer on that. And we can communicate that way. So it's going to be a lot easier for you. It's the most efficient way to communicate with us. So
sounds good. And I do have some others, but they're still kind of questioning whether or not they're interested. So as soon as they say yes, they are open to doing something creative, I'll send those too.
I love it. Okay, perfect. And I think what I'm going to do is I have a contact that's like, she's really big into RV parks. Like she burrs them pretty much. It's a perfect opportunity and see if she wants to come partner in on this. I think it's tough. This one's tough because they want more money than it's probably comped at, number one. They don't have any financials to support that price. Like they've done zero. Like I was just telling Dustin, start with your taxes now, like get bookkeeping because they did not. And now they want to sell their RV park and nobody wants to give them $5 million for a $3 million property with no numbers. So, good find, Karima. Yeah. Okay. You're in there.
Okay. And thank you.
You're welcome. Today's kind of turned into a Q&A, which I love. I love talking to you guys. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? You guys have the list. Look at Elizabeth gave us a script. Hey person, my name is, I work with people that are having issues in the bank and I saw your name. I love this. Where did you find this? This is a good one. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for being, more documents. Look at you guys just helping each other in the chat. Hey, Shanoa, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Super. Okay. So you sent Austin, Texas on Monday, correct?
Yes.
You sent that out. Okay. All
right.
right.
The only one I have right now.
Okay. So I was looking at that and I was going, okay, is it a free for all for everyone to call whichever one? So people might be getting multiple calls from
For
on their,
people.
yeah. Okay. All right then.
So
So
be gracious and kind with them.
I will. And you had a last minute Zoom yesterday, is that correct? Did I see that?
Last minute Zoom, that was for, are you a Gator? You're a Gator, right?
I am.
That was a Gator Zoom.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
I missed it. Sorry. I was in bed.
it's okay. So there's, I'll see when George is going to post it. George is our amazing VA who posts all the replays. I'll see when he'll post it. It should be up here today.
Okay, super duper. Okay. And then thirdly, I spoke with a coworker today, and ironically, I had mentioned that I was getting into real estate because he said he sold his house. And it's kind of a different thing, but he's looking at, I think, what they call it, 1033 maybe.
1031? Yes.
1031, because he bought the house, he owned the house, but his son, he bought it for his son. His son made the payments on it. He's going to turn around and give the difference of what they made on the house to his son. But his son is looking for a house in Texas and can't seem to find one. He plans on moving to Florida within the next 2 years. And we're still looking at that 1031. So he was like wanting to know information. I'm like, I have a Zoom meeting today and I'll ask about what direction I need to go for each one of these. I said, I got a great support system. So I said,
Yes.
I'll call your son. I'll call your son after he wakes up at 6 o'clock tonight. And then I'll get the details from you a little bit later on. So,
yes. So 1031 for those of you that don't know, let's talk about what 1031 means. 1031 is based on a tax document, just like W-2 is a tax document. So 1031, when you sell real estate, you get taxed at like some ungodly amount, like 30% to the government. And what there is there's a tax loophole called the 1031 saying, okay, I'm going to sell my house and I'm going to take the equity that is in that house and I'm going to buy a like property or a better property. So if it's a single family, you're going to buy a multifamily. Anything higher, you can't go from a multi to a single or like a primary to a secondary house. So it's got to be, you got to move on up. And so you take that equity and the government, you say, okay, Uncle Sam, not paying you your 30%. I'm going to defer my tax payments and I'm going to put 100% of my equity into this new real estate. And kick the tax down the line. I need to find out how that works with sub 2. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it can work. Let's go. So the beauty of sub 2, student, you guys, you can go to the sub 2 Facebook page and type in the search. I'll do that right now. There's so much information out there. So I'm going to go to the sub 2 Facebook page. I'm just going to type in 1031 and I will probably get my answers. Let's see.
Hey, Carly.
Yeah.
Just for a reference, that seller has 90 days to identify a property.
They do.
I just went through this with my listing. So
yes,
just for your friends or your coworker to know, they do have that timeline just to identify.
Yes. So before you initiate that 1031, they have to have a property that they know they can get, because if they don't, then they have 90 days and then they're paying taxes.
90 days.
So that's a very good point.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yes. Okay. So someone says, just a heads up,
on
so
the
finance and 1031 do not go hand in hand. It's tough to do creative with a 1031, honestly. It's really tough. So here's what I like to say is tax deferment is why they typically do this. They don't want to pay the government taxes. What else can defer taxes? seller finance. You're not cashing a big fat check all at once. You're cashing it over time. So you're spreading out that tax bill, which is very nice. So ask them their motivation for a 1031. Be like, why? Is it for your tax benefits? Because I know a guy and gal who can help you do sub 2 and defer your taxes, and it'll build your credit because they'll pay on time. So excellent question.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Also, money can't go into a personal account. You're absolutely right, Carmina. You have to get a 1031 lawyer. Is when we did it. It's a lawyer. They wire the money from this real estate sale to the lawyer's place. The lawyer, I don't know. They have to be like 1031 verified, and it's like it's a whole thing. It's not like it's like not like the SBA loans where it's like I'm getting an SBA loan that I don't really ever have to pay back. And you hear all those people that they bought like Mercedes with them, and it's like a legit thing. You can't loophole that. So it must be held in escrow by a third party and then used by the new to buy a property. Yep. So nobody, you're not ever touching your money. That's a 1031. All right. Any other questions, you guys? So I gave you the list. If you haven't, go and finish watching the Elephant Challenge. It's on Pace's YouTube. I'll put the third day in the replay section. Lots of documents are in there for help. And then what we'll do next time is we'll call on these things. I'll have you guys call. Oh, Andy has his hand raised. Oh, and Daniel. I saw Andy first, so I'm going to ask Andy because he raised. Sorry.
It sucks.
Hi, Andy.
Really bad. I don't know why.
Hi, Carly. Thank you. What about the video last night? Pace talked about JV agreements when we're doing business. If we call on the list that you provided, do we have to have a JV agreement before or after, or how does this work with what we're doing?
So JV agreement, good question. So JV agreement, when you guys are able to call on this list, it's a free for all. Once you get one of those people from the list that are open to sub 2 or creative or blah, 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 or they're just open to something. So these pre-foreclosures, once you get that, you submit it to an Elephant Challenge leader. When you submit to us, I'll show you what it looks like. It's Elephant. So, and then we help you with the deal. Just a second, Elephant. It's elephant.aurora. Excuse me. It's elephant.aurorainvest.com. Oh, it won't let me share my screen. Let's try again. Okay, share. So this is what it looks like when you guys go to submit a deal to elephant.aurorainvest.com. You're the baby elephant. You put this information. We were doing agent, but you could use direct seller on this one. It doesn't have to be an agent. It's just the person who's you're going to be negotiating with, what it is, asking price, and you need as much information. So we have our JV agreement here, and it says by clicking submit, I agree to the terms and conditions and I accept by submitting this lead and I'm entering into a JV agreement. So that's when that JV agreement gets done. Please don't take the same lead to several sub 2 students, because at least with us, I don't know how other ones are doing it. Once you submit a lead with us, you're agreeing we're in a JV partnership and we're not going to shop the deal around. Also, you're going to make the same amount of money from any partnership with any Elephant Challenge leader. We all have the same pay structure. So it's not of your benefit, not saying that you will, but people thinking, well, maybe I can go to Dumbo Dial with Dawn and they'll pay me more. Everyone's going to pay the same. Everybody can help you equally. It's a level playing field. So, Jesse says your tabs look like mine. You guys should see what the inside of my brain looks like. I also have like 12 Google Chrome things open with 24 tabs. Okay, Daniel, you had your hand raised. It's not anymore though. Do you still have questions?
I was going to say something on the 1031 deal.
Yes.
A lot of title companies have 1031 experts on staff also. So you can hit up your local title company as well. I've done 3 classes on 1031s. They're extremely complicated.
You are.
And like I've done 3 classes and I'm still largely confused on them because there's so much knowledge that goes into them. There's so many different tax implications and regulations that go into them. Don't try and talk to people about it. Like if there's 1031 involved with to get an expert to have that conversation for you. They're not gonna like take your deal or anything, but they want to be the intermediary and get that 1031 situation so they can make money on the deal. But yeah, don't get yourself involved in 1031 stuff. You're going to get in trouble and get sued.
I would not. I'm going to agree with Daniel on this. I'm not even going to touch 1031 for creative. As far as you guys can go, because Daniel's absolutely right. You have to get an intermediary. It's very complicated. The government is involved. Like, it's messy. So if people are like, I want to do 1031, this is where you can go with it. Ask them why. And if it's for tax deferment, talk about seller finance. But I don't think you should. I don't even want to go down that road with 1031s. Don't submit any leads to me with 1031s because I'm just going to send it back to you and be like, fine, I'm not your person to help you with this because I don't fully understand it. And Daniel's absolutely right. I've done a 1031 personally. And I paid a lawyer like 10 grand to do it or something. So they're expensive. I don't know if it was, I don't even know how much it was. It was like 3 years ago.
Reverse 1031 exchanges, which are even more complicated.
No, that just makes my brain melt.
So, I mean, there's a lot of places getting in trouble, but if somebody's adamant about doing it, maybe you could link them up with the title company that you used to get foreclosure lists or whatever, and they'll bring you a lead sometime.
Yeah.
You can
Or
make
ask
a-
Daniel. Sounds like he knows a little bit about them. A little bit. A lot bit.
That's all
Yeah.
I had.
Thank you. Thank you for adding that. All right. So how about next time, you guys? We're going to do, you have homework. Go get your title company. Well, it's the same from the Elephant Challenge. Get your title company, get your list. Don't just depend on Pace's list. Be an action taker. But we're going to call on those lists. Hopefully I'll have a list by then. I better, because they said they'd have it to me by today. I only have the Austin one. We're working on the other ones. We're going to live call on lists. So don't be a consumer, be an action taker, please, and come to this and be ready to make calls. And they're tough, you guys. Pre-foreclosures are tough. They're highly emotional. There's a lot of like empathy and sympathy and kindness, and it's brutal, you guys, but you can do it. So, it's just not as easy as agent outreach. But not to say that it's not easy at all. You're just going to get a lot of angry people and you're just gonna have to build a tough skin. So we're going to call. Who wants to call next time? Let me know. All right, Mo, you're up. Dustin, you're up. You brave guys. Okay. Rose, what's up?
Sorry, I'm trying to get the video on. I just have so when I first started and we picked the group, you have two. Are we supposed to go to both of them or are we just picking one?
You can go to all of them. They're all just like going off of each other.
Okay. I just didn't know because with where I am, I'm trying to run and then come back here and lock myself in just so I can listen to one. I just didn't know if we were supposed to do both of them. And at first I signed up for both and then I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know. Because one's in the morning, one's in the afternoon.
I know. And I'm going to move the next one. I'm going to move back. So we moved Wednesday to the morning because Jen couldn't make Wednesday afternoon, but she's not coming to these Zooms anyway. So it doesn't matter. So I'm moving it back to noon because it's just better for my schedule.
But we're learning the same, right? On both groups.
What's that?
I mean, the both times.
Yeah, they're both for all of them.
Okay.
We're all building off of it. It's like you can come to one, you can come to all, but they're all building off each other. So last week, what did we talk about? We talked about the list and how you talk to pre-foreclosures. Now I'm doing Q&A. So it's like, it's something new every single time.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
And yeah, there's a replays on my YouTube. I'll put my YouTube right here. And then Julie
Okay.
Daniels, who's Rick's wife, is so helpful. And she puts the reminders for you guys there in the replays. So,
And the replays are going to be on your channel or
yes.
the Elephant Challenge
No,
channel? No.
sorry, someone
Your.
direct messaged me and I only responded to one person. So the channel's right there in the chat. And then also
Okay. Oh.
Julie is going to post. So I live stream this to YouTube. And then I get that link, or I don't, Julie does, and she puts it in the Elephant Challenge chat and said, here's the replay. So
Okay.
you can go watch them wherever. My YouTube, you can subscribe to that and you'll get updates on whenever I go live, and then you can watch it later.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thanks for coming. Andy, do you have another question?
I do. Sorry about that. On the second day of the Elephant Challenge, pace was, I think it was pretty like clear that he wanted us to get privy. But as far as our calls go and the lead submission into Aurora Invests into your portal, how far do we go with the comping of a property or starting to underwrite it? Do we just
You don't have to do it.
get an
If you
interested
want
lead and
all you have to do is bring us a lukewarm lead. And then we do the calling and the underwriting, and we bring you along on your lead. So what's supposed to happen is, just like you saw me add Karima to the Slack, and I'm meeting with the team. So this team, they need to be on track. So we're not adding people to Slack. We're not communicating very well with you guys. And that's what I'm going to fix this week on our team meeting. So it's not all of them. Like, who just said, Tony said that Rick just reached out to him. I think Rick's been talking to Dustin. So we're working on being better, and we're going to add you guys to Slacks and stuff. So you can see, like, we'll post a link to the call. They're supposed to call through our CRM. And so you, Andy, can be like, okay, I want to hear how this call went. And you can hear Rick call and pitch creative and like talk to that warm lead. And then he'll put it in there, and then he'll be like, okay, we need to submit in here. We're going to underwrite it. Here's how we underwrite it. And then if you have any questions about your lead and you're like, hold my hand for the whole thing, show me how you underwrite it. Show me what why did you do this number? We hold your hand and we show you, we walk you through this whole deal, and you are privy to everything. Speaking of the word privy, you don't have to buy privy. That's just a good tool. That's how PACE teaches. There's so many tools to comp and to find out all the information that's on privy. PACE is like, I'm doing one because I can't teach you guys all of them. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. There's PropStream, there's PropWire, there's Privy, there's Zillow. They all do a lot of the same things. They all do different things. So PACE is just teaching you on one. It's not required to buy it. We tell people to go and squat up with people that have it. If you don't want to pay for it, if you do want to pay for it, that's fine. You can get 20% off by using PACE's promo code. You go to startwithprivy.com and then use PACE's promo code is just PACE, and you get 20% off. But just to be clear, no one's trying to upsell you on anything. We just need to show you on a product. And this is the product that we choose, because I love Privy for comping. It's the easiest. So yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mo, what's up?
Sorry, I had to have mute. Yeah, so with the list that you provided, obviously we'll have the same list. Are we all going to be calling those same leads, or is it broken up so we can each take a chunk?
Every
or just
team calls every list.
Okay.
So what we can do for our team, we can chunk up the list for sure. But for the most part, there's no organizing that. Like, all the team leaders are going to get the lists, and then whatever they do, we can chunk them up. what we'll do with the next call, it's going to be Monday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do calls. And we're going to call live. And it's going to be scary.
I'll try to make it because I'm
Emotionally,
going
it might be
to the
emotionally
limitless.
abusive, but it's a learning session.
All right, cool. I'm gonna really try to make it because I'm going to the limitless this weekend.
Oh, you
And
are?
yes,
Oh,
yes. I'm so excited. But I'm flying back on Monday, so I'll try to. You said 3, so it'll be 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I should be able to make it.
And there's the replay, so it's okay.
Yeah, but if we're making calls, I want to make calls. So
yes, and so we'll do that all next week. We're just gonna do calls. I'll answer Q&As in the beginning. We'll go through because there's newbies on each time, and I have to be like, this is the drill.
So if I make Wednesday, we'll also make calls on Wednesdays.
Yeah, all next week we're gonna make calls. I'll start with question, today was just Q&As because we'll start out with questions and then we're gonna make calls. Dustin and you have volunteered so far that I saw in the chat. So you guys will make calls Monday or Wednesday or both.
Cool.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing that document. Okay. Andy. Oh, we lost you. Where'd you go?
No, I never lowered my hand from the last.
Oh, you lowered your hand. Okay. Fi, what's up?
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I have I'm talking to an agent and they are open to presenting to their seller with creative, but so far they told me that they really need the full amount because they're trying to get out of their house or get out of their situation. And I've called him back a couple of times and he said we can't move on the price as low as it can. So is this a good time to submit it to you, or should I wait until the sellers are open to it? Because the agent's open to hearing at least about it right now.
So I love this question. And I love that you've gotten this far and then you bring it to us. This is perfect. So in the event, let me ask some clarifying questions. You said they want all of it. What do you mean by they want all of, they want all of their equity at close?
No, I think that they're just in a bad situation that they need to close out on the mortgage. I think they want out of the house because they're just getting out of this house to get into another house. So it's not, I don't know if it's an equity situation, but I think that they are just kind of in a bad situation. That's the vibe I'm getting from the agent. So.
Got it. Okay. I just wanted to see what you meant by get out. Okay. So at this point, I would submit it. If somebody is open to hearing it, yes, submit it to us. We'll make the call. We'll share the call with you. We should be texting you and being like, hey, this is a deal and this is not a deal and this is why. And you can call us and then we'll just coach you through what happened. And if it's a deal, we'll walk you through it, make a Slack channel and all that stuff. So yes, if you are to the part, ask yourself this question, is someone open to listening to creative? If the answer is yes, submit it. If they say no, do not submit it and say, maybe you can talk them into it because we need you to at least, once they're just open to hearing more, you're good to submit. You shouldn't have to, we don't expect you to pitch terms. We don't expect you to comp it. If you want to, we can go, I would love for you. We can teach you. That's the whole point of this. So how do we go about submitting a deal? You'll go to www.elephant.aurorainvest.com. Great question. I loved that question.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on, I can't type and talk at the same time. Damn it, there's an M on the end. AuroraInvest.com. That's not even right. Delete that. See, I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. Hold on. www.elephant.aur. There we go. That in the chat is where you go to submit deals. Karima.
Hey, so I just had one other question. So you said next week we'll be doing calls.
Yes.
Will you give us a list? How will that happen? Or are we just going to call on our own list?
So we'll call on you if you guys want to get lists, we can call. We're calling on whatever. If you don't have a list, we'll call off of Pace's list that I've been sharing with you guys in the chat, the pre-foreclosure list.
Okay.
And then somebody was posting it. Who is that amazing person that keeps posting it? Elizabeth. So, it's a Google Doc. You guys can't edit it. You're going to have to download it or make a copy of it. That's the Austin one. That's the only one I have right now. And we'll call off of your guys' list. I would love it if you guys brought your list, because these lists, you guys, everyone's going to be calling on these lists. And I don't know how far we're going to get, because he just gave 2,500 people the list. So of like 100 on each. So Mo says, I have not been able to get a list in Connecticut or Rhode Island. So why are we looking in Connecticut or Rhode Island? Curious. Mo, your market. So did you watch Pace's part on the how to pick your market? Because I'm going to go over, you guys should get lists where there's a lot of buyers. So Connecticut and Rhode Island, there's not a lot of buyers unless you're buying them yourself and you have the cash to get into the deals. You want to go to watch the whole Elephant Challenge. Pace did a whole thing on how to find your market. I think it's on day 1.
Day 3.
He definitely did it 1 or 2. And he did do it on day 3, but he went a whole thing on how to pick your market. I do not recommend. So I'm going to go back. We talked about this on the last one. Think like an investor. Unless you guys are owning these and you're like, I have $10,000, $20,000 to get into this deal, and I'm going to own these in these states, then that's good for it to be your market. However, you guys were wholesaling this, and I have no buyers in Connecticut or Rhode Island. So we want to go, please go. If you're not going to keep them, go back on the Elephant Challenge and watch how to pick your market, because you want to pick landlord friendly states. You want to pick business friendly states. You want to pick places where investors are scooping up deals, where people are moving to, all of those things. Okay. Elle says, just to recap, if the agent says that they're open to creative finance, then you should send the link for review. Yes. Yes, Elle, you are correct. Okay, day 1. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Maria says day 1, they did extensive marketing. So go through and watch day 1 and then evaluate if you want to pick Rhode Island or Connecticut. Does your team? Yes, I do have buyers in Arkansas. Arkansas, I can tell you guys, Texas, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, all that like belt. Texas, did I say Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. What else is there? They're good markets. It's where people are moving to. Rick Daniels, what's up? Look at him dropping knowledge bombs. 20, look at Rick. You guys, give Rick a round of applause. He's the one in the back end working your deals. He's amazing. And he just dropped something under Mo's comment that is landlord in Fresty states. So I would start with those. Thank you, Rick. You're awesome. What about Boise, Idaho? John, I am your buyer in Boise, Idaho. Yes, that is my main market. I'm from Idaho. Boise, Idaho is a really good one. And I don't like to tell people to go to Boise because I want to hoard them all for myself. But yes, Boise is a very good one. Rick's the man. You're right. Okay, you guys, I'm going to do 2 more questions with Tony and John, and then I can't answer anymore because we got to go. What's up, Tony?
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for anyone that doesn't have a list and doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money, I've found some success with PropWire,
That's
and there's PropWire is free, and their skip tracing is extremely inexpensive. I think it's like 8 or 10 cents skip trace or something like that. The data is pretty good. I've seen better. I mean, I use Privy
Yeah.
and others, but the data is it's so, but it's another option if you want to
It is.
try to use something free or inexpensive.
Yeah, PropWire is great. Just so you guys know, skip tracing's kind of is mediocre across the board. They all pull from the same data center. Just, I'm pretty sure. So skip tracing means you find the owner of the property and then you get their contact information and you can contact them, for those of you who don't know, but it can be hit and miss with skip tracing. John, what's up? Last question of the day.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So I think Tony just answered one of my questions. So I got a list for Canyon County and Ada County. So Boise and Nampa, Caldwell.
Yeah,
You guys buy both of those counties?
I do. I buy by county, Twin Falls, Blaine, Ada, Canyon, Kootenai, Valley. But
Okay.
really, I will look at any deal in Idaho because that is my home state.
What
And
about-
I know that market well.
Do you know like Payette County?
I do.
That's where I live. It's a really small area, but
Yeah, my mom grew up in Nissa
okay. Yeah, I'm
Up in
in
Oregon.
Fruitland.
and my cousins went to Fruitland High School.
Okay.
They're from Parma. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
My
I do know that area. It's harder because it's just more rural, but
yeah,
it's a good,
for
yeah.
sure.
So,
So I guess so that was one of my questions. Tony kind of answered the other one with, you know, where I can go to skip trace my list for fairly cheap. So I got a list for Ada and Canyon County.
nice.
Basically, I don't have any numbers. I need to skip trace it. So I just don't really know the process of doing that. Now you just
So you can go, let's look real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Share.
like, do
So
I
you
just share my list to?
Yeah, you can share it. So I wouldn't share it to me because you have to pay to script trace it. So he said PropWire. Let's go to PropWire.
Yeah, PropWire.
I think this is owned by, I have never used PropWire, but I don't know how you skip trace on PropWire. I bet somebody will know.
Would
I
you
bet
like
y'all
me to-
logged in, we could
Would you
figure
like
it.
me to log into my account? And I
Yeah.
can show you? Okay.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to because we have to go now. Maybe that's for another
Okay.
one. But what I
If
do
he wants
know-
to reach out to me, I can show him.
yes, let's do that. And then if you guys
Who was
want,
that, Tony?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, John.
I'll reach out to you.
yep. So
Okay.
what you're basically going to do with any skip tracing list is you get a list in a CSV file or an Excel file, you upload it, and then you're like, okay, it's gonna be like 8 cents or something per skip trace. And then you're like, here's my credit card. And then it's like, please hold. And it should take like 30 minutes and it spits out a new your list with all the numbers put in there.
Okay. That's basically what I was wondering. If I'm able to just upload the full file, or do I got to
Yes.
type everything in by hand? or
No,
what?
God, do not type everything in by hand. No, please don't. Get with Tony. All you do is you upload your list, pay your money, and then they magically put the numbers in your list and you re-download it and then you start calling. That's like the oversimplified version.
Okay. And then one more quick question.
Yeah.
So when we do call these pre-foreclosure people,
Mhm.
do I basically just, so I've seen there's like 7 or 8 different options that you can give them. Do I just tell them those options, but I don't really know how to do any of those options or even
I
explain
know
them?
you're kind of like,
So-
now what?
Yeah, exactly. So do I say, I'll have my partner come in and explain it to you?
All
or-
you guys need to do is just be like, get them on the phone and open to be like, there's so many options I can help you with. And you just lead with like, I want help. And then if they're like, okay, I'm open to hearing these options, you'd be like, awesome. Let me get my partner on the phone to call you and we'll set something up.
Okay, so that at that point, if they're just open, then that's when I would submit to you guys.
Yes. Because you guys, nobody expects you to know the 27 options and how to do it. And like the word, like this is where you guys are learning. Just find someone that's open to it and we will have the conversation and you'll learn from that conversation and we'll do it enough times where you're like, I got this on my own. I can do this. I don't need you. And then you're out wheeling and dealing. So, Tony, people want to know how to contact you. Can you put your contact information on how you want to be contacted in the chat?
Sure.
So Daniel, yeah, you're basically appointment setters. Yes. Or like warm lead finders is basically what you're doing. If you can get to the point and your knowledge in your brain can get it under contract and you can explain it, all of that stuff, do as much as you can. But at this point, this is such a newbie Zoom. We don't expect you guys to be able to pitch creative and like overcome objections and everything. If you can do it, that's awesome. Go with what you have, but I just want you guys to know, I don't expect you to know this stuff. So as long as you get someone that's open to it, we'll teach you guys. Keep it simple. Yes.
Awesome.
All right. Okay. That's the last question. We're 3 minutes over. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for raising your hand. Thank you for providing value to everyone. And then next time we're going to have, you guys are calling. So, way to take action, you guys. Let's get you guys your first deal.